How an Ethiopian farmer built a multi-million-dollar business from teff. This is the inspiring story of Yonas Alemu and how Lovegrass Ethiopia came to existence. Stay tuned. Africa is changing. For decades, the world looked at Africa mainly as a source of raw materials, but a new generation of African entrepreneurs is rewriting that story. They are building global brands, creating jobs, supporting local farmers, and introducing African products to international markets. One of those entrepreneurs is Yonas Alemu, an Ethiopian businessman who transformed his childhood connection to farming into a fast-growing international brand known as Lovegrass Ethiopia. His mission: to introduce the world to one of Africa's oldest and most powerful superfoods, teff. This is the inspiring story of how an Ethiopian farmer's son turned his love for teff into a multi-million-dollar business while helping thousands of local farmers along the way. Yonas Alemu was born and raised in a small farming village called Jiga in Ethiopia's Rift Valley highlands. His childhood was deeply connected to agriculture. According to his own story, some of his earliest memories involved waking before dawn and helping his family work in the teff fields. Farming wasn't just an occupation, it was a way of life. But Yonas dreamed beyond the village. He later earned a university scholarship and moved to Europe, where he built an impressive career in finance. Over the next 17 years, he worked for major international investment banks and became a certified financial risk manager. By many standards, he had achieved success. Yet something kept calling him back home. One day, while working in London, Yonas walked into a health food store and saw teff on the shelves. At first, he felt proud. Teff was finally gaining international recognition. But then he noticed something shocking. The teff wasn't coming from Ethiopia. It was being commercially grown elsewhere and sold to consumers who often had little idea about the grain's Ethiopian origins. For Yonas, this was more than a business opportunity. It felt personal. He later explained that he couldn't stop thinking about the farmers back home who had cultivated teff for thousands of years, yet weren't benefiting from the growing global demand. That realization sparked a mission to reconnect Ethiopia to its own agricultural heritage. A mission to ensure Ethiopian farmers shared in the economic value of the crop they helped preserve for generations. What is teff? Before we understand the business, we must understand the grain that started it all. Teff, scientifically known as Eragrostis teff, is a tiny grain native to Ethiopia and Eritrea. It is considered one of the oldest cultivated crops in human history, with evidence suggesting it was domesticated between 4,000 and 6,000 years ago. For thousands of years, Ethiopian families have used teff to make injera, the famous soft sourdough flatbread that is central to Ethiopian cuisine. But teff is much more than just food. Today, nutritionists around the world call it a supergrain because of its remarkable health benefits. One might ask, why is teff so special? Teff is naturally gluten-free, rich in iron, high in calcium, packed with magnesium, full of protein, contains essential amino acids, rich in prebiotic fiber that supports gut health, low glycemic index, helping with blood sugar management, one of the few grains that naturally contains vitamin C. Many of Ethiopia's world-famous long-distance runners, including Haile Gebrselassie, Kenenisa Bekele, and Tirunesh Dibaba, have often credited teff as an important part of their diet. As global demand for healthy, gluten-free foods continues to rise, teff has become one of Africa's most valuable agricultural exports. The world is finally discovering what Ethiopians have known for thousands of years. Recent market research estimates the global teff market at nearly $2 billion in 2026, with projections suggesting it could grow to approximately $3.9 billion by 2035. Health-conscious consumers, athletes, gluten-free communities, and wellness brands are increasingly adopting teff into their diets. But there was one problem. As demand grew internationally, Much of the teff being sold overseas wasn't coming from Ethiopia, the birthplace of teff itself. And that realization would change one man's life forever. In 2016, Yonas left the comfort of finance and began building what would become Lovegrass Ethiopia. His vision was simple: bring authentic Ethiopian teff to the world while creating fair opportunities for Ethiopian farmers. Instead of merely exporting raw grain, Yonas wanted Ethiopia to participate in the entire value chain. That meant building relationships with farming communities, investing in grain storage facilities, developing processing capabilities, creating consumer-ready products, establishing international distribution networks. Lovegrass invested in manufacturing facilities in Ethiopia and later opened operations in London to distribute teff-based products across Europe. What started as an idea quickly became a movement. One of the most powerful aspects of the Lovegrass story is its impact on local farmers. For generations, Ethiopian farmers have cultivated teff using traditional methods, yet many remain disconnected from lucrative international markets. Lovegrass works directly with Ethiopian smallholder farmers, creating market access and promoting fair trade practices. The company emphasizes traceability from farm to consumer while investing in local agricultural infrastructure. The goal isn't just selling food, it's creating economic opportunities. It's ensuring that farmers who have protected this ancient crop for centuries can finally benefit from its global popularity. As Lovegrass grows, Ethiopian farmers grow with it. Yonas understood something important: people cannot value what they do not understand. So Lovegrass didn't simply sell teff. The company became an educator. Through storytelling, packaging, media appearances, interviews, and social content, Lovegrass has introduced consumers to Ethiopian food culture, the history of teff, the nutritional benefits of ancient grains, and the role of Ethiopian farmers, Africa's contribution to global food systems. This approach transformed teff from a little-known grain into a premium health product with cultural significance. And in doing so, Lovegrass helped challenge outdated narratives about Africa. Instead of exporting poverty, Ethiopia was exporting innovation, nutrition, culture, and value. Today, Lovegrass products are sold internationally, including teff flour, cereals, grains, pancake mixes, and other health-focused foods. What makes this achievement remarkable isn't only the revenue, it's the model. Yonas didn't build his company by abandoning his roots. He built it by embracing them. The same fields he once walked through as a child became the foundation of a global enterprise. The same grain that fed generations of Ethiopian families became the engine of a growing international business. And the same farmers, often overlooked by global markets, became partners in a larger vision. The story of Yonas Alemu is bigger than teff. It represents a new African mindset. A mindset where entrepreneurs look inward before looking outward. A mindset that sees value in local products, local knowledge, and local communities. Across Africa, entrepreneurs are taking cocoa, coffee, shea butter, cassava, millet, fashion, technology, and agricultural products to the world. They are proving that Africa doesn't need to imitate others to succeed. Sometimes the greatest opportunities are already growing in our own soil. From a small Ethiopian village to international supermarket shelves, from a farmer's son to a global entrepreneur, from a tiny ancient grain to a growing billion-dollar market. The journey of Yonas Alemu and Lovegrass Ethiopia shows what happens when passion meets purpose. Because sometimes, the next multi-million-dollar business isn't hidden in Silicon Valley. Sometimes it's growing quietly in a farmer's field. And all it needs is someone bold enough to believe in it. If this story inspired you, remember this: Africa's future may not be built only through technology. It may also be built through the farmers, innovators, and entrepreneurs who are turning African heritage into global opportunity.